On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if sci-fi's new revival lives up to classics like Winona Earp, if Melanie Scorfano is still the best actress on TV, and if the return of Resident Alien means that we can lay off the Spider-Man animated series for a little bit. All that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where some friends gather around to talk about their favorite comic book-based TV shows that came out this week. My name is Cassie. I will be your host. And this week, guys, huge news. Ryan, send the alert. Thank you. Can I get a different one? Okay, that one's not bad. I'm going to keep scrolling. What's my next option?
Vroom, vroom.
Oh my God, you know the ones that I would do. That's our go-to alert from now. So, Ryan, big alert. We have shows to talk about this week.
Are you serious? No, I heard about this because I was reading the trades.
As you're known to do.
Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, talking about Buffalo box office, and that the Spider-Man the Animated Series is old. So,
it's so old.
I figured we would cover that.
You got to get the newest version of the trades, the 2.0.
What did it say? Wait, hold on. Before you tell me what it said.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
It said too old, Ryan. Too old. There's a hot new stuff this week. There is 2 new shows that hit the block, and they're strutting around. And they're called Revival. Uh-huh. Ever heard of it?
Well, no, but...
It's a revival.
It's come back, so yeah I'm ready.
It's raising from the dead. It's coming after Jesus Christ Steez. And now we also have the return of our beloved Resident Alien.
Oh, okay. So now I'm in. Revival, I'm like, I don't know anything about this show, and I don't care.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
But Resident Alien, the 54 who died?
The 54 who died.
I'm in.
For us. And I bet, ever since that musical it came into my life, it's what gets me going in the morning.
Now, since then, you have written and directed 17 Broadway, off Broadway musicals, all revolving around one episode of Resident Alien. What is Hollywood Reporter and Variety saying about those?
Well, you're reading the trades, so you tell me, because I've been pitching it to them for years, and I haven't seen one come across yet.
They said it comes off like an unhoused woman doing like cymbals on the knees with a harmonica in the streets of San Francisco.
So they're getting it.
Yeah.
They get it.
So that was your intention the entire time.
That's art, baby. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Did you hear my voice crack there?
I did. I wasn't going to say anything.
Do you think the listeners heard it?
Hopefully there's a revival of your podcast voice.
Because it was only right in the mic, so maybe they didn't hear it.
We hear so many men go through puberty, and for you to do that right now.
It's brave of me, and I should be honored for this.
You are thriving right now.
I'm absolutely thriving, and we got to get to these shows, because I'm very excited to learn, one, what Revival is, and to talk about it. So let's go do that right now. This week brought us the series premiere of the newest and conceivably last sci-fi show based on a comic book, Revival. Based on Tim Seeley and Greg Norton's 2012 Image book of the same name, Revival, finds Winona Earp's Melanie Scorfano donning another badge and fighting more undead people. This time the 45 or so corpses that come back to life on Revival Day. Taste buds, I ask you this, does sci-fi continue their run of cheap and fun genre shows?
Good question.
Thank you. I spent hours on it.
And the fact that your voice did not crack a single time during that reading was incredible. I'm going to say yes.
Okay, but it's not strong.
There's a little bit of a lilt at the end of my yes.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to say yes. There is about... And Cassie, you did not watch this.
I missed this one.
And I'm a little bit glad.
Okay.
Because there are 40 minutes of setup.
Okay.
So Melanie Scorfano, she is the deputy sheriff and also the daughter of the sheriff, who is definitely has a lot of what's his name from Stranger Things vibes, but
Harper? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harper, but meaner and grosser, and he's just an asshole. She's leaving town. She wants out, and she gives her 2 weeks, and then 45 corpses in this town pop up out of the grave. including a little girl, which when it first happens, there's a bunch of people, old people in suits. Mm-hmm. That's how you're supposed to die. You're supposed to be old, you're supposed to be wearing a suit. And then a naked guy runs by, and I don't know whose family he had that was just like fucking...
They wanted his suit. They were like, man, it doesn't make sense for him to have
I would
this
fit
one.
right in that suit, so I'm going to keep it.
I have a big interview coming up, and God, I know this suit would sell it.
And I know it smells like, what's that shit they
Cheetos.
put?
Doritos. Hot chocolate?
What's coming out of your Speedos? I love how you just do not need any information to guess. No, what frogs smell like when you dissect them in class.
Oh, death?
Yeah. Even though the suit smells like death, I want to interview in it. And so I'm going to take this from him, and he's going to be naked when he comes back to life. But then there's also like an 8-year-old girl, and that one's
sad.
rough.
That's sad. It feels like they didn't need to do that one.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
I think they could have not.
But our heartstrings were there, and they needed to be plucked. And so it cuts to 35 days later, and the city's just dealing with this. She did not leave town. She loses the job that she got to get out of town. And now she's back to being deputy sheriff daughter. And she's not happy about it. She has a kid named Cooper. Mm-hmm. He's 8 and a dork. You can tell he's a dork because he wears glasses. That's not my opinion. That's what the show is telling us.
Yes, you're just a viewer.
I'm just a viewer. And don't need glasses, by the way. My eyesight's fine.
Perfect.
Not a dork at all.
You spend your free time talking about comic book TV shows.
Yeah, but like I don't wear glasses, so it's fine. And so she is living her new life as the deputy sheriff of a town that has this thing to deal with. This did not happen in any other town. Mm-hmm. This is national news. Everybody knows it happened in this town. And I'm a little worried at this point. Like, what is this show about week to week?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to chase down more corpses or...
Well, they only have 45 of them,
yeah.
so...
And so is this a 45-episode show and then we're out?
And then we're done? That sounds pretty lit.
Which is very comic booky. Like, there was a comic book called 100 Bullets. That was 100 issues, 1 bullet per issue. So if you want to do that, that's fine. And it is really slow going. We have Melanie Scrofano, who... I don't think we have an official superhero show Hall of Fame. Uh-huh. But first ballot,
she
right?
Would be on it.
She's on there. So
yeah.
I'm watching it for her. She has a couple of very nice comebacks and bitchy, pithy things that she says throughout the show.
What she does.
Yeah, what she does. But then all of a sudden, in the last 5 minutes, she and her dad are investigating a house and a barn, respectively, at the same time. Not respectfully. They're not respecting the property, but...
they're moshing in there?
They're
knocking stuff over just because?
The least respectful thing you could do, they start a mosh pit immediately.
2 people mosh pit, and it looks cool.
And they're like... The people who own the houses are like, this is, I guess, kind of disrespectful. And then they throw up 2 middle fingers. And I mean, you could feel the property values go down.
God, and the
when
whole
the middle fingers come up.
The HOA immediately sent a memo.
Yeah.
They were typing it up right then.
God, the typewriters were a flurry. And then this became, and this is why I was sort of glad that you did not watch the show, a straight up fucking horror show.
Oh, no.
That was... I was like, you know what? The first 40 minutes were totally worth it. This is fucking crazy right now.
Was it like jump scary or?
No.
Oh.
Just... It was, I mean, there was no jump scares. It was just creepy as hell.
Okay.
I'm going to go through it. I'm going to walk you through it.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. If I'm going to say to listeners, I recommend Revival.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to know what happens in the first episode, please bounce out now.
You got that out now. Dig in.
The dad, the sheriff, walks into the house because he had gotten a call about a lady screaming. So goes to the old lady's house, and she has unburied her husband and put him in a chair. And saying he died just before all the revival people revived. Uh-huh. So, and he was always early to everything. So I'm sure that he's about to revive.
Oh, no.
The sheriff walks in, almost throws up because of how fucking disgusting it smells. I'm assuming it's the old lady. What smells worse, an old lady or a long dead old man?
An old lady.
Yeah.
Does she have a cat? Because it's an old lady with a cat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, as far as I know, old ladies keep cat poop in their pockets of like
just
their aprons.
Full.
Yeah.
Every single the deepest pocket's full of it.
If you trick or treat there, you're gonna get cat poop in your bag. So be careful, folks out there. And it was very tense and very disgusting. And then our hero Dana, played by Winona, goes to a barn where they are keeping the wife's mother alive. And what happens, they keep finding teeth everywhere. And the problem is with these revival people is they keep pulling out their teeth and the teeth grow back immediately.
No, why?
So it cuts into their mouth and you see her pull out a tooth and then the tooth bounce like, you know, like old school cash registers where it would be like ching and like the little tag would pop up.
Yeah.
Teeth just keep, it doesn't matter how fast you pull them out. Just
like that little alligator game.
Yeah. Like, take a ticket, new ticket pops out. And so Melanie, Dana, is like, I don't think we're cool right now.
Good instinct.
She is right. This zombie lady starts killing everybody, including her daughter, throws her up against a wall, and her head goes into like a sharp sword or something that's on the wall.
Jesus.
Yeah, right through her mouth. Kills her daughter immediately. Her son-in-law, the male farmer, is like, well, fuck this then. Like, what do I owe you now that your daughter, who I'm married to, is dead?
Yeah.
Right? Are we even mother-in-law anymore?
Not at that point.
Right. Like, court has now absolved me of doing
You
whatever.
immediately, you're free. You're a free man.
So he goes after her. She tosses him. And then Melanie Scrofano's troubled sister comes in. And she takes what does Death have? One of those scythes. Takes a scythe right to the chest.
God.
And dies immediately.
Wait, her sister does?
Her sister does, yeah.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm freaking out. Shoots the old lady a bunch of times. Doesn't die because she already died. Mm-hmm. And then the sister pulls the scythe out and her skin heals immediately. Cassie, she's a revived.
My God, what?
And the final line of the episode is, don't tell Dad. It was gold. It was fucking gold.
It honestly sounds really good. I know you said like I'm glad you weren't watching it, but I'm kind of hyped to watch it.
I was nervous about you watching the teeth pull out like
that part
tags at like a bakery, like pull a number.
Yeah, there's two things so far from you talking about it.
There's tooth things.
There's tooth. Exactly. Thanks. The 8-year-old girl and this teeth pulling thing that I feel like they didn't need to do, but they've done it, and unfortunately, it feels like the rest pays off where it just sounds so rad in like a terrible way that I just need to see it. Was it a complete change? Like, was the intro, like the first 40 minutes where we're just getting backstory, like super calm, like normal, just like...
I mean, no, because like they handled the revival of it very normal. Like it was on the news, you know? And like people in the city are dealing with this. And there was another show, it might have been called The Revival, where it just, like, a bus of children went off a bridge. And then 5 years later, the children come back. But it's not a horror show. I think it's French, so you know.
Okay, yeah.
And the show is just, like, handling it very normal. Like, what do we do in this situation? Sort of like The Leftovers. You know, if a third of the community just went to heaven, what do you do? And then...
Are you talking about Left Behind?
Or Left Behind and Leftovers have this sort of, like, same... Everybody goes to heaven. But the show, like, the first 40 minutes are pretty normal, but you know that it's on Sci-Fi. You know that it stars Melanie Scrofano. You know that, like, it's going to get nuts, and my goodness did it.
It sounds so crazy. Wait, was the sister ever dead, or she revived in that moment?
So we meet the sister, she's, like, in a college town or something. There's a whole shutdown, and I don't know if that's commenting on something where the whole society has to, like, shut down for... weeks or months.
Surely not.
Probably not. She closes in, but she's like a college kid who ran away from her family, and then at some point while she was going to college, she killed herself or something.
Oh man!
And then revived.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. They're doing a lot already in this.
I'm gonna change my recommendation from yes to yes.
I think I'm going to go back and watch it because it sounds rad as hell. And it's not related to Winona Earp at all, right? It just has like...
I don't want her to get typecast. And you know how she got typecast is the craziest thing. Winona Earp liked sex. And then Dana, as a woman, likes sex. And I was like, okay... I've never met a woman that's like sex, so
she's the one.
And she's just doing this role all the time. Okay, that seems a little weird.
Like I know one woman. This is the type that I know.
The one I imagine exists.
I can't wait to watch this one. I want to be on board for this one. It sounds rad. What was your moment of the week? Was it just every last bit of that ending?
That was, I mean, obviously, like, that was like, okay, here we go. We're in now. The mayor's last name, I don't know if this counts as a moment of the week, but the mayor's last name is like Delissch, which looks like a normal last name, but when you say it, it's Delish.
Yeah.
He's just Mayor Delish.
God, that's good.
And every time they said it, I was like, he is. But,
I was going to say, how hot? Rank him. Rank him right now.
But my true moment of the week is something that I'm not going to be able to, like, I can't express how great it made me feel. But when Dana, not Winona, Melanie, was going into the barn, it is locked by the biggest chain you've ever seen. And they unlock it for her. And as she's walking in, she's like, it's a big chain. And it brought me so much Winona back to me. That's my moment of the week.
You got to comment on it when it's
not,
big chain.
It's not a punchline. It's just the way that she's like, oh, big chain.
Sometimes sci-fi is really good at like whatever is popping into your mind at that moment.
Exactly.
Like the character's gonna say it, and that's my favorite thing about a sci-fi show.
I was halfway through maybe having the thought of like, that's a fucking big chain, and Melanie is there for me.
They say it. I know we already did moments of the week, but I forgot to ask you: do you know anything about the comic this one's based off of?
I honestly, as a comic book reader, had barely heard of it. Like I sort of remember it. It's 10, 15 years old.
Okay.
But
so
I do
you were
think
a wee baby.
I was, yeah.
You were so young at that
I was
time.
only 1 year old, but now I can drive if you want to go anywhere. But I do think it's that thing of like that Image Comics thing of taking a very genre premise and then normalizing it, which was sort of like The Walking Dead, which was, we're going to do a very basic adult drama. Walking Dead was an Image comic before it was a TV show. I did see a headline that said, finally we have a zombie show that's good. And I was like, what does that mean? Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're coming after The Walking Dead.
Because on this podcast, Cassie, I don't know if you remember, we used to like at least announce what happened in the weekly Walking Dead. We don't even do that anymore.
Walking Dead changed how this podcast was done. We now have secret rules that if we break, the punishment is watching that damn show.
Yeah. There's literally an episode of some Walking Dead franchise on this week, and we're not going to talk about it.
Thank God.
But yeah, the whole, I guess normal life goes on is sort of, I think, the spark of the show.
Nice. Well, I'm going to be on board, and it sounds like everybody else should too. If you want to watch it, it is, I believe, Thursdays on Sci-Fi. So go ahead and check it out. That is the show we are covering for our main event. I have a little bit of time here on the clock. I'm looking at it. Let me confirm. Yeah, Ryan, you're in luck because you can share this website idea you've been working on.
Oh, God. It's called Cassie'sClock.com.
Uh-huh.
And you go to Cassie's Clock, and it says, like, I have 10 minutes till I have to do this. And you know what, bitch, that went to that website, now you have 10 minutes. You have to do whatever you were going to do. It says, like, 10 minutes till Cassie makes dinner. Now you have 10 minutes to do whatever you were about to do.
Did you ever do the Rock clock? The Rock's, like, alarm thing? He had, like, a whole app. And
I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah, dude.
No.
And it would
Please
wake you up at the time that he woke up. It would give you like an inspirational message to be like, let's go get it today. Like,
is this an app?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but I know the logo, and it's like a longhorn, like a deer, not a deer thing.
You know it because you had it for a while.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I'm gonna get on the Rock time. Let me get swole like the Rock. So I'm loving this idea so far that I am now the new Rock, and people can focus their life around what I'm doing because I know my life, and God bless these people.
Yeah, so like you wake up at 8 and you go to Cassie Clock, and it's like, all right, 3 more hours till we wake up at 11 a.m.
Go ahead and hit that snooze, king. You've got 10 more minutes. Let's go.
Snooze King is a good idea. That's a good name for this app.
Are you trying to strip my name from this?
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because I will not. I was going to send you over to my friends who would help you make this website beautiful. But if you strip my name from it, I'm not sending you over to them. But as long as you are, I'm going to send you to cybersprout.net, Ryan, because they're going to make this website just the star it deserves to be. They got easy to edit fields, custom templates, drag and drop tools.
Dwayne the Clock Johnson should have been the name of the app. I'm so sorry, Cassie. Keep going.
It's right there. I'm gonna write them. It's really gonna eat them up. If I learned anything about The Rock in my time of using his app. And you should visit cybersprout.net to get started. They're your partner for a digital world. Go check them out. Coming up next, let's go talk about Resident Alien. On the season 4 premiere of Resident Alien, we are catching back up with everyone after everything that went down last season. Harry is stuck on a spaceship after the man took his place on Earth. Darcy is trying to take care of the mayor's baby while also trying to hide from them. Deputy Liv is trying to convince the sheriff to come back on duty, and Asta is trying to come back to herself after going to space. Taste Ryan, I ask you, this episode obviously had a lot to do with in regards to resolution and setup, but do you think it having so much to do affected what we love about it?
I think so a little bit. I think that's a really good question and way to put it, is that there are some shows that we need plot. Like, that's why we watch it. Reality shows and, like, you know, there's some shows, but Succession or some shows we want there to be almost no plot. Like, what is the least amount of plot that we can get away with and still call yourself a show just so we can watch these people hang out? And I feel like this is, and it's not a prediction for the rest of the season. Like, there will be episodes where we get to hang out with these people. But for this one, it was like, man, all right, reset us and then move on.
Yeah, it honestly, and I feel like that's something that they've done normally really quickly. And I think it's just because they laid so much, like, everything that everyone was dealing with on the last season finale was heavy. Like, everybody had something, like, heavy, which they normally don't do. So normally we could pick back up way quicker and brush it off. But, like, these people are, like, still going through it.
What Kate, the mayor's wife, is going through, and what, what's the bartender's name?
Darcy.
Marcy? Darcy?
Uh-huh.
That is fucked up.
Dude.
When you bond with a baby, or the baby that you probably should be bonding with is not with you, that is heavy duty.
And yeah, just having, like, because she's friends with them, so to be like, I am keeping this thing, like, your child from you, but it's for you. Like, it's just crazy what's happening to them.
To be so desperate to keep them away from Ben and Kate that you ask, what's her name, to take the baby out the back. That's... She starts off, seems like, hiding the baby really well. And then there's a moment where she has to go to work at the bar, because that's where she works. So she brings the baby. And again, this is my hero, my icon. I love her. You brought a baby to a bar.
And there's only one person who is more ditzy in this town, and she is always at the bar, and that is who briefly gets to watch this baby, and I was like, that is such a bold move. She sent her, like, out into the world with this baby.
Judy.
If you ever meet a Judy in your life, don't give your baby to them, is what I would recommend, if it's anything like this one. But it's just, that's what, like, we only had those brief moments of, like, what that show is. Like, there was that moment, just a couple little things, because literally everybody is going through it.
Yeah, and they're spiraling, and there's a lot of plot, and there's so much, you know, like, we had a lot of gray-green alien warfare to go through at the end of the last season, so maybe now if we could just settle down, and we can't because the bad Harry, the smoking Harry, is in town. Luckily, our Harry's back in town, so hopefully it is resolved soon, but it's not even that I want this plot to be resolved, because I don't like this plot, so we can move on to the next one. I want there to be none. I want there to be no plot. Listen,
Resident Alien is vibes and jokes, and that's what we come here for. Like, you guys did good with the finale. We were like, wow, crazy, but get us back as soon as possible to what we came for.
Now, with action comes that Resident Alien style. Like, hey, what's the baby's name? Deborah?
Yeah, let's say Deborah.
Let's put her on the ground and have him run towards the bad guy to attack, and then get kicked immediately.
Oh, baby alien.
But yeah.
Yeah. I should know that one's name, but that one that got swollen space prison.
Worked out prison style.
Who ran space prison and had all the smokes.
So there is still the Resident Alien stuff.
As we're talking about it, there might have been more than I felt like when you're watching it. But yes, so there is, I want to talk to you about the two Harry plotline, because for most of the episode, we have Harry in space stuck in jail. And then we have the mantid who took over his body. Chameleon style.
Wearing the belt.
Yeah, the belt and everything. And I was like, where'd you guys get that from? But nobody's noticing, even though he has slick-backed hair, smokes 3 cigarettes at a time.
I also have a little bit of an issue with this, because this guy is, let's just say me.
Yeah.
Just a total badass and has no time for anybody. And he will, like, all of our friends from the show, all of our cast members will come up and be like, "Hey, Dr. Harry, what's going on?" And he'll be like, "Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit." And they will not.
And they're just like, "It's Harry."
Yeah, that's our guy. That's the guy we've always known that has never acted like this before.
There he is. He just like wants to bang anyone, and I'm like, this wasn't him at all.
Bang but eat.
Yeah.
Like, if I could have sex with you but also eat your head at the same time, that's what I'm into. Mm-hmm. And no, everybody's like, "Yeah, man."
Yeah.
That's just classic
Sure.
Dr. Harry.
And then we have the deputy, who is, I don't remember this like cyborg man in a cave
Oh,
that
you don't?
she is tending to.
Okay. You might have missed like the last 5 episodes of the last season, but Cassie, can I ask you, has puberty and Ozempic ran as rampant through a TV show as it has in between this season and last season?
Absolutely. Yeah. Between the kids and
The kids took reverse Ozempic. They are just incredible Hulks now. Oh, the kids went through so many awkward phases that we did not see, and they do not look the same.
I had to I watched it on my phone, so I really had to old person pull it up to my face and be like, "These the same kids?"
You had to raise the font of their faces.
Yeah.
No, but they're tiny adults instead of the kids, and they look ridiculous. And then Deputy Liv lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, but it's because she's hiking up to the mountain
Right.
twice a day.
We did get that explanation. The other thing that we get is, I'm going to need your help on this one.
Yeah.
She lost a tremendous amount of weight in the show because of the hiking.
Yeah.
And the boys, Sheriff Mike and Mayor Ben, are like, "But we can't say anything."
Such a weird moment to have on screen.
So they refuse to even look at her in the eye, much less address that she needs a new uniform. Because if you were to say to a woman, "Hey, you look great," that means that you are there by saying, "You looked awful and fat before this."
Yeah, which isn't a thing. You can just say, "Hey, you look good." But no, they were like, "Man, she's lost weight, so now we can't treat her like a human in order to respect her." And I'm like, and it is a scene on screen that they dealt with.
Also, you know what? That's fine. If that's your first inkling, that's fine. But then when she's that thirsty for a compliment or just anyone to recognize what she's done, say something.
Just say it. Just say it. It's so
"Hey, you
weird.
lost weight." There, I did it.
You did it. You did it. Yeah, it was a moment that really took me out, and I was like, why are they're spending a good amount of screen time on patching this up when I was like, we just don't need it.
For most shows too. I'm not saying that Deputy Liz, the actress, necessarily went on Ozempic. I'm saying that she lost a tremendous amount of weight between this episode and last episode.
Yes.
You can also, we're so used to Ozempic and actresses and actors that you could just not address it whatsoever.
And we know.
But I would say 20 minutes of screen time is based on the fact that she is smaller.
Her plot line is just that. Her plot line is just trying to get a smaller uniform. I was like, everybody's really going through it, and hers is that she has to look ugly in a uniform.
And she has to wear her old uniform, which reminded me of something I couldn't put my finger on. Until Jared from Subway holding his pants up. She was doing an impression of Jared from Subway.
And I'm sure that's what they wanted. That's exactly what they were going for. But we do have the sheriff who is refusing to go back on duty because he believes he hallucinated an alien and is unfit. This seems to be wrapped up pretty quickly at the end of this. Like, he's just back, and I was like, hell yeah, that's all we needed.
We needed one more plot line, and we got it.
And good, got that one all set. There is no quick for the mayor and his wife. That is just, that's going to be again, the baby is missing to them. The aliens still come and abduct them. They got a whole thing going on.
They do. I do love the Ben thinks that he found the alien who Asta is sleeping with.
Yeah.
That took the baby, and he calls his wife, who is in a salon, and her
Right
running
across
across the street to fucking jump kick an old lady who she thought was the alien. See, we got a lot of moments in this episode.
And that one was honestly very good because he's on the phone. He's like, all right, now be calm. Because I'm pursuing him. I think I have him. And you just hear you motherfucker. Outside from that, you mentioned the kids and that they went through puberty. We do have Max. Max is his name, right?
Let's say.
Yeah, Max. And he's always been like the dumb one of the group. There's something about like him that's still just a little off, and like I don't know now if it's even weirder that like he's like a full grown ass man, and that's what's making it weirder, or it's just like this character isn't still fully working.
He has a couple lines that do work because of how dumb he is.
Yeah.
And I love the way that he just is it Sahar?
Yeah.
Gently puts her bike in the pit and then puts branches and leaves over it to hide it.
Yeah.
And he fucking throws his bike as hard as he can into the pit. That is just like how we took care of stuff as kids.
Yeah.
Like we didn't fucking care. But so there's a couple of lines where like she has a weapon that she devised that has like alien poison in it coming out of a super soaker.
Yeah.
He should have one because he can see the aliens, but he doesn't get one. So he's like, he picks up a stick and says, I'll just sharpen the stick.
Yeah.
Those were okay.
It was good.
It was fine.
It was good. You're right. I'm being too hard on this kid.
But no, I do think that like they relied on cuteness that isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And so I would phase them out of the show if I was the showrunner.
Dang, he's a savage.
No, I would just get them. And I have been a huge her fan and a huge not him fan the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Both can go.
Now it's at the point you're like, all right, I've had my fill. Most of these get to a point where we're like wrapped up. I'm so glad we have Harry back on Earth, and that was easily done. He just befriended like his guard alien became a huge fan of Earth, and I was like, sure, why not?
We didn't have a ton of story about that transition from him in space to, and that's fine.
That's fine.
Get
That's
him
perfect.
back to the planet.
Yeah. We have that, and the big reveal at the end is that he has lost his alien powers or somehow is no longer an alien.
Yeah, which I don't love because this is a classic comic book trope of a thing that can't happen. Once you have powers, you always have powers. I did want to talk to you about Bruce, the guard.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say Jinx Monsoon.
Is it Jinx Monsoon?
Am I saying that correctly?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's so funny. That is
because it's Jinkx.
Yeah.
So is it Jinx Monsoon?
It's Jinx Monsoon. She won Drag Race.
I think twice.
Twice, yes. Huge Broadway. Like, just
Are you serious?
Yeah. Honestly, kills it on Broadway. Just a delight to this world, a true weirdo, and I'm so glad that this alien was Jinx. That makes it very fun.
But like on Broadway, like a one-woman show, or what was she?
No, I'm trying to remember what show. A big one. Not a one-woman show. But yeah, that is. I'm so glad you looked that up because when I was listening to them, I was like, this is somebody. But,
Mama Morton in Chicago.
Oh, there we go.
When you're good to Mama.
Yeah.
That was the alien we saw.
That's so good. And the fact that we might lose this, that was just a cameo.
I know.
Crazy.
Well, she could come back.
Yeah. That's very fun. Shout out to Sci-Fi. I don't know how it happened, but so good.
But didn't you notice when Bruce was talking, like, that's somebody?
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but like obviously the way that her voice was presented, that's somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get that wrapped up. I did want to talk to you. Harry post prison on Earth has a big beard. Mm-hmm. Do you think he looks like you?
Well, we already talked about how manted Harry
Yeah.
looks like me or acts like me, and then Harry post space looks like me or acts like me. You're just. You know what? Hey, Hollywood, I'm here. Why are you getting Alan Tudyk?
Who is this?
Albert Two Wiener instead of me. I'm right here.
If you ever need a fill-in, I got the perfect man for you. But yeah, that's the big reveal. We don't get any resolution on that one in this episode. So we'll see how that goes. I hope his powers come back soon. I don't know how much I love this, but we'll see.
Before we go to YouTube, people have only been listening to us and having other people on the show describe how we look. Do you think they could draw us accurately? Like, based on what me and Mike have talked about how you look, what would a picture of Cassie look like to a listener?
It's the meanest thing I could ever see. Something I would hang on my wall every morning.
Just look at you. No more mirrors. You look at this picture forever.
This is you. The world will see this.
Why is one ear so much bigger than the other ear?
If you want to do that, go ahead, listener.
Fucking dare you.
Make my fucking day. That's all the time we have because that's all I can think about now. Oh no, we got to go to moments of the week. Do you have a moment of the week?
I have to give it to so much bad parenting and hurtful parenting, like so much parent heartbreak in this episode, and I would like that to stop for sure.
Yeah,
just for my personal enjoyment. But what we already came up with their name, Lucy. Who's the fucking town bicycle?
God, immediately forgot it.
Her saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take this baby into the bag, but do you want me to breastfeed her?" Like, why did you ask that? Why even?
And then there's this is again sci-fi or Resident Alien doing it here. Darcy immediately follows up with, "Well, could you?"
Yeah, like no, but I'm interested.
Can you? And her response of like, "Yeah, like somebody likes it or something." I was like,
how do you think this guy keeps his skin so fresh and clean in the city? It's Judy.
It's Judy's tits. Speaking of tits, there was somebody, when we get Bad Harry, I'm going to call him, the manted version of him, he goes to show up to work, and they're like, so-and-so's here for like a mammogram or something, and he's like, must be Titty Tuesday.
Hey, even though it's Thursday, you call it Titty Tuesday.
It's Titty Tuesday. If you want to watch this season of Resident Alien...
Which I think you do after that conversation.
You do, and it's Titty... Nope, it's on Fridays. God damn it. That's such a bummer.
It's Titty Friday.
It's Titty Friday. Friday is when you can watch it. It's going to be on USA and Sci-Fi for you, so 2 ways to get it there. And Ryan, that is all we have for this week.
Oh.
2 new shows. How did it feel?
It felt great because Mike sat there silent the entire time.
God, I love when he does that.
Yeah.
And like not when he has that judgy face either. It was all supportive. Like big laughs, like big thumbs up from him.
Oh, God. Like, and like the big... like laughs where you act like you're laughing but you're not making any noise. He did the thing where like he's trying to get off his CPAP, so he did the mouth tape. And great podcasting. The best I've ever seen out of him. But gold star for Mike. You're the real MVP of this episode. 200 Spider-Man the Animated Series points for him.
You get it. Can you tell the people about some websites?
Sure. Popfilter.co is the website you can go to get all of our everything. That is our home base. That's where we operate out of. You can go to like podcast apps to get our podcast. But if you didn't want to do that, don't support the corporations. Listen to it from the website, like a fucking cool ass 48-year-old man who has a cell phone clip on his belt, and that's where he keeps his cell phone.
And I respect that man so much.
No, he's a good guy. Definitely doesn't hate his stepdaughter.
Definitely not. We also, did you do all the websites?
No. Amazon.com/popfilter is where you go to shop on Amazon. And then do we have another one? I think that's it.
No, that sounds good.
Good, yeah.
That sounds great. If you want to watch video versions of some of these episodes, you should head over to our YouTube at Your Pop Filter.
No. Popfilter Co.
On YouTube?
Yeah. Right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Mike is getting
Let's
less and less.
Fast.
We have another show on the network. It's called Movie of the Year. Ryan, tell the people about it.
We are doing a retread of 1999. So all the movies that we missed, like South Park, The Green Mile, The Iron Giant.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
All those movies we're doing just to see what is the actual best movie of 1999 on Movie of the Year.
Go check it out. We're on social media too. We're at Your Pop Filter on Instagram. Give us a follow. Give us a like. If you're not following us, go back in our feed and like every single thing we've ever posted.
On Instagram, you can have like little minute selections of this podcast, and it's so much easier to listen to than like this bullshit that we're doing right now.
That's the preferred way. Just get little tiny bits of us. That's how our family has to consume us, and that's how you guys can consume us.
It's called Theo Von style.
We got an email as well. It's contact@popfilter.co. Any questions, concerns, comments, if you want your opinion on Resident Alien to be heard, send us an email. We'll read it at some point, I'm sure, and talk about it. Next week, Ryan, I think we're back.
No.
I think we're...
Cassie, I feel like I'm in a prison of my own making.
It's absolutely no. The board has decided this. We can only do what the board says. And the board wants us back to Spider-Man because we committed to it and we have to see this season through.
Flip, flip.
Flip, flip?
Thwip, thwip.
Thwip, thwip. Not flip-flops. He's not on little flip-flops now.
Would be better.
God. If only we could go back in time.
Do you think he has webbed toes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. So next week, guys, we'll be talking about Spider-Man. It'll be a fun time, so go ahead and catch that one. That is it for this week, though. For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For me, I'm me. Bye, everyone.